Welcome to the Biscuit Boys show on SRB Radio with him, Mrs. Brown, and me, the Gabby Cabby, in association with Griffiths Clothing and Jack Bed. Coming up, we have tracks by Black Plague, Jack Aldridge and Manimal, plus a whole lot more, and a little bit later we'll be joined by Russell C Brennan and Neil Sheasby. But first, let's get kicked off with Katie Kittermaster and T-Shirt.
I'm still wearing your T-shirt when I go to sleep. I'm still wearing your smile. I'm still hoping you'll come home again soon, but I've been hoping for quite a while. Maybe you think of me when you have a cup of tea or brush your teeth. Maybe you moved on. Maybe you still miss my early morning smile, but maybe I'm just not the one. But I'm sleeping in your T-shirt till the sun comes up, hoping that the morning brings you home. Sleeping in your T-shirt like you're here in my arms, like it's the only T-shirt I own. I wake up every morning thinking of Oliver and that you'll be. I'm just a silly girl with a dream. The stars, the moon, they make me think of you, but then they're pretty far away too. Maybe you think of me when you have a cup of tea or brush your teeth. Maybe you moved on. Maybe you still miss my early morning smile, but maybe I'm just not the one. But I'm sleeping in your T-shirt till the sun comes up, hoping that the morning brings you home. Sleeping in your T-shirt like you're here in my arms, like it's the only T-shirt I own. Maybe you're thinking about our trips to the coast, or the times that I loved you when you needed it most. Maybe you wish that we had had more time, but maybe you wish that you had taken one of my T-shirts so that you can sleep till the sun comes up. My T-shirt so that you don't feel alone. My T-shirt so that you believe you're here in my arms, that place that you used to call home. So I'm sleeping in your T-shirt till the sun comes up, hoping that the morning brings you home. Sleeping in your T-shirt like you're here in my arms, that place that you used to call home. That place that you used to call home.
You alright?
Yeah. So the
You,
next record wanted to start, even though I.
Oh, okay.
Even though I got it on manual. So
T-shirt?
Yeah.
You're wearing one, aren't you? Cleaning?
I am. Yeah,
Your cleaning
spot on,
T-shirt.
yeah.
Not the one that you use for cleaning, but your cleaning company.
Yeah. So do
Have you got a favourite T-shirt? No.
No, not really. No. You?
I've got quite a few, yeah.
No, right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not. How can you have a few favourites?
Because they're
Have you
all
got one
they're
favourite?
they're all equal favourites. I like what T-shirts do you like? Do you like the polo? Do you like the crew cut? What kind of cut of a
Crew
T-shirt do you like?
What's crew cut?
You know, the crew neck.
like these?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that.
I like these.
Yeah. I tell you what, if you take as long to get ready going out with your T-shirt as you do to get yourself ready for this show, I don't think you'd ever get out. Mind you, you never do you, to be fair? Unless you're out with the missus.
Just checking my microphone.
Katie Kittermaster, a rising star. Great name, yeah? And Katie did, while we were broadcasting the Biscuit Boys show last week, said, guys, can you play it? We hadn't got time then because it arrived in the middle of the show. But as always, if you send your tracks to tracks@sports-radio.co.uk, Chris will download them and he will put them on rotation within 24 hours. That's the service that we provide for you guys. So I want 6 likes in a bit. Later on in the show, we are going to be talking to... Sorry?
I always have to do work when I do a show with you.
Yeah, I know. Ordinarily, you don't like working, do you? Although, with Teresa being away, you've got to do a bit more, ain't you?
Holidays shouldn't be allowed.
Nah, well, this is the thing. Mind you, you have a few yourself, to be fair, don't you?
I have the normal 14 weeks a year.
Yeah. But you are the boss, aren't you? So you can do that. But the workers can't. You know, you're all for equality, aren't you?
Oh, God, yeah.
Come on, what you got for me now?
Got a song?
What one?
Do you want a bit heavy?
No,
You
know me.
You want something I haven't heard yet?
I don't like heavy.
No.
But so I'll kind of like Tails. I'll have the one that you haven't heard and hope that it's not so heavy and a little bit soulful.
Oh, I'm going to play.
Who's it by?
I'm just going to play the heavy.
Who's it by?
Black Plague. I don't even know if it is heavy.
It does sound heavy.
Sounds
Come on, let's have it.
Right.
And if it's too heavy, 30 seconds. That's more to your liking, isn't it? You like kind of like rocky and heavier stuff. But it's all right. It's okay. Did you like them sound effects at the beginning?
Yeah, it did sound like a plague, didn't it?
Yeah. Hey, did you watch Bollywood last night?
Bollywood?
Yeah, there's a programme on the telly last night, BBC Two, about Bollywood.
No.
And there was like sound effects. They went into this room.
Oh, yeah.
It looked as though... Well, do you remember like Steptoe's Yard? It made that look tidy.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, seriously. But there was these two Indians, right, and they've done probably about 1,500 films, all the sound effects. So they
They
have
just
got
do the sound effects?
yeah,
Oh,
they
right.
have literally got everything there.
Yeah.
Bottles, tops, car bonnets, anything that you can think of that can make a noise, they've got it, and they make these noises. And it showed you how they was making the film and then putting their sound effects to it.
Oh.
Absolute genius.
You know what my favourite sound effect is?
The jam.
No, have you ever watched Casualty?
Yeah, I do,
Right,
yeah.
okay.
Occasionally, because I don't like it. Too squeamish, I am.
Yeah, but you know when they stick that probe, that sucky thing?
They don't need to do that.
No, they always stick a thing inside and they go, and you hear that noise.
Yeah.
I love that sound effect.
Do you really?
I can do that quite good.
Yeah. Holby City is another one. I don't know why, and we've done this before. They don't need to be so graphic.
It's not graphic. It's not real. It's only like pig's bladders and stuff.
I don't care.
They don't
It's
cut
still
people open.
no, I know they don't. Just to, to be in
good
a
though, isn't it?
bit part in Casualty or Holby City, but it is for me. It's too graphic. Say you're watching a love scene in a film.
Yeah.
They don't do that graphic, do they? Because that would then be almost, would be pornography. So I just don't see why. You know what it's about? It's about a hospital, and by definition, people generally aren't very well that are in there.
Oh, yeah.
And do you know what? Some of them even have to be operated on.
Yeah.
But I don't think you need to see it.
And that's where the
Yeah, I know.
comes in, isn't it?
Yeah, sound effects.
Yeah.
Come on then, let's have another track, and then I want your 6 likes, because 11 o'clock we are going to be going live with
near,
Russell C Brennan.
All right, we're going to have, this is VIX 20, Digital Age. I'm not sure which way around that.
I would imagine Digital Age would be the record,
I got
and VIX 20 the band.
Yeah, could be.
Round and round the bed, my journey's end, I'm coming home.
SRB, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't hear the introduction, you'd never guess that was called Digital Age, would you?
No.
Yeah.
Very poppy.
Yeah.
Good song.
And we've Lewis Mitchell's joined. Oh, and I've joined as well. Mind you, I've got to join. I'm in it.
Hey, it's like magic, isn't it?
I don't know how it works because I did try and share, but it won't allow you to share.
Facebook have changed a lot of things.
Yeah,
the
they
last
haven't,
few weeks.
Yeah.
I actually emailed Facebook yesterday regarding sharing
Okay, yeah.
because when you can see the page now, can't you? See the way that is there.
What's where?
The way it's laid out there.
Yeah, I can see it.
Before, you could have all the comments on the right. You could have a full list of all the
Yeah,
comments.
we used to.
Yeah, but now you just get... That's as many as you can get in that little gap there. That's as many as you get. And then you have to keep scrolling.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So although, like, the age of, digital age, Facebook haven't really caught up with its digital age, have they?
No.
And we do have one or two people watching us, but to be fair, we're not.
Still waiting.
We ain't lookers, are we?
Well, no.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, if you was to, like, mark yourself 1 to 10,
Yeah.
what would you give yourself as a looker?
Probably close to 9.
I thought you would. Oh, really? Anna, if you was a bar of chocolate, you'd eat yourself, wouldn't you?
Oh, God, yeah.
Twice.
Oh, yeah.
You would, wouldn't you?
Mars chocolate. Mars cake I had the other day.
What was an egg doing on it?
It was an egg. It was a bit of cream that had a bit
Oh,
of
it
Mars
just
on
it looked like an
It did,
egg,
didn't it? I
to be
know,
fair. But you
yeah.
didn't answer me, so I thought...
No,
you
I
know.
thought a bit of knob.
Yeah. But it looked like an egg.
Yeah. And the guy I originally says, don't you have an egg with yours? Yeah, I think he actually thought, do they eat eggs with cake?
Well, with rice thingy,
Yeah.
which is bubble and squeak,
Yeah.
you have an egg with it,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and then other things. So you do tend to have an egg with almost everything.
Eggs are good. Exactly.
Good for what's the acid that you get in an egg?
Don't know.
Yeah, I used amino, isn't it? It's amino acids in an
Are
egg.
you just making that up?
No, I think so. I think it's amino
I think you're
acids.
just making that up.
Yeah, you're very good to dairy products per se are very good for you, unless you've got an allergy to dairy products, and then they're perhaps not very good for you.
Yeah.
Come on, then let's have your 6 likes.
All right, then. Okay, just getting my mic right. That's it. Yeah.
Are you happy with the way you look, by the way, now?
Oh, not too bad, actually.
Yeah, because it did take you about 25 minutes to sort you out.
I weren't happy.
Seconds for me. But
I weren't happy.
25
Making me look
minutes for
old.
you. I'm surprised you don't have a makeup artist.
Yeah.
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 Come on.
I like flying car.
I'm sorry?
Flying car. They're coming. They're going to
Flying cars?
You're going to have flying cars.
Have you? But it's Back to the Future. They've all met, haven't they, for the first time in about 33 years?
Yeah.
Is
flying
that
cars.
why you like flying
No, I
cars?
just saw an article on the news the other day. I thought, oh, that's good.
Okay.
Like
How
flying car.
low or high are these cars going to
They
fly?
go quite high, but not as high as planes.
Well, I wouldn't have thought so. Do you not think it could be a bit dangerous, like cars
Well,
flying?
if you smacked into one, yeah. What the?
I mean, I've seen a few fly down the Collector Road.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've had a ticket there myself.
Come on, number 2.
Brown grass.
Yeah,
I did like it. Now I don't.
yeah. Well, you see, the thing is, it like goes very strawy when you haven't had no rain.
Yeah.
Doesn't
You never
it?
think it's going to recover, and it does.
Is that thunder or next door moving stuff?
Could be.
Yeah, I just heard a couple of it. Yeah, and then when the rain does return, so does the grass. It's almost impossible to kill grass.
Mm.
Go on.
What about the machine gun?
It actually isn't alive in that respect.
right,
So,
okay.
yeah, machine guns. You just put holes in your lawn, which would be pretty stupid.
I like Richard Branson.
Why?
He's just a very clever bloke, really, isn't he?
Well, I
But
don't
he
know. I've
doesn't
never
come
met
over
him.
as that clever.
Sorry?
He doesn't come over as that clever.
Well,
Although-
I've never met him. I don't know. I've
although
never
I'm
spoken
guessing
to him.
He must be clever because he's
Why?
made all that money.
Well, I mean, Trump's made a load of money. Would you say he's clever?
Obviously, yeah. He's made a lot of money. He's cleverer than us.
Well, that ain't hard, is it? Let's be truthful.
I
Come
like
on.
a fox.
I'm sorry?
Fox.
On the glacier mint or in the garden?
I like a fox. We had a fox yesterday morning.
Where?
The back of our window. Looking in.
Really?
Yeah.
What was he looking for?
Beautiful fox. Big brown thing.
Was he
And
looking
then-
for Derek or food?
For food. And then last night,
Yeah.
let Dev out the front at the end of the game. at the end of the
Devlin's playing,
broadcast.
was it? Yeah.
Yeah, and open the door. Same fox at the front door.
He's probably waiting for Dev to get his autograph.
Ah, yeah.
Clever fox.
Yeah, there you go. Rich football clubs.
You like rich football
Amazing,
clubs?
isn't it? They can make all this money without fans now.
Yeah, of course they can. Because television gives it them all.
Yeah.
They don't need. You've
No.
not. If you just work that one out.
10 Premier Leagues last season will have made money with empty stadiums.
I'm surprised not all of them.
Isn't that incredible?
Well, I mean, you get
I think
£100
it's
million
only
for
Bournemouth
getting
and a couple.
relegated, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, football now doesn't need fans
No.
to generate the
It's-
income,
what's the word?
and that's
Imploded,
why
yeah.
that's why we fans now, they couldn't give a flying about you as a fan.
No.
They ain't interested. It's all about the TV. It's all about sponsorship. When that balloon that's been rising, right, goes pop, they'll want the fans back, but then it'll probably be too late because football would have lost a generation of fans and they're going to have to start from ground zero.
True.
Come on, you got one more
And
up,
last one,
Daddy.
courgettes.
What's the difference between that and a cucumber?
They're different, completely different vegetables.
Well, they're both green and they're both about that big and they're both like the same shape.
Yeah.
So what's different?
Except the courgette is a bit knobblier.
Yeah, no, but why? Like,
Well, a taste difference as well.
well, they do because one you cook and one you wouldn't cook, would
There
you?
you go. You've just answered
Because
the
one,
own question.
one I would suggest is pretty much a fruit and one's a vegetable.
Is cucumber a fruit?
I would have thought so, yeah.
Tomato is a fruit.
It's one of them, isn't it?
Seeds in it. Seeds in it.
I don't know what the definition is between a fruit and a
Oh,
vegetable.
That's going to be a debate,
I mean-
isn't it, for our listener?
I've worked with a few vegetables, let me tell you,
Yeah.
but never a fruit.
No.
Come on,
There you go then.
let's have it.
I'll tell you what, should we have two in a row?
Why not? You can do me a cup of coffee and then we'll get Ross on the phone.
Oh. Okay, we're going to have Crazy Train by C.J. Tefner,
And
followed by Milestone Road. I owe it all to you.
Crazy, that's how it goes. Millions of people living as foes. Maybe it's not too late to learn how to love, forget how to hate. Mental wounds not healing, life's a bitter shame. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. I've listened to preachers, I've listened to fools, I've watched all the dropouts who make their own rules. Person conditioned to rule and control. The media sells it, you live the role. Mental wounds still screaming, driving me insane. I'm going off the rails on a crazy
things I didn't want to hear. But now I sit here wishing I'd have hung on to every word. All the truth I thought were lies didn't really mean a thing. Then I wasted all my life thinking that I knew enough. Oh, how could I? When I was still so young. At last I know the truth. Thanks for showing me the way. When I was so lost and my head stuck in the clouds. Oh, I owe it all to you for giving me so much. Never faltered in your steps. Though you were the only one who gave me one more chance. There were some days when I would wander through my life, never knowing what the next day is gonna bring me. There were days you gave to me a reason for living and a purpose to my life, yeah. All my troubles washed away, they're gone now. I ain't ever looking back. At last I know the truth. Thanks for showing me the way. When I was so lost and my head stuck in the clouds. Oh, I owe it all to you. Thanks for giving me so much. Never faltered in your steps. Though you were the only one that gave me one more chance. All my troubles washed away, they're gone now. I ain't ever looking back. At last I know the truth. Thanks for showing me the way. When I was so lost and my head stuck in the clouds.
I owe it all to you. Milestone.
Actually, to be fair, we owe it all to Paul as well, because he's on night, hence that he's in bed. Because I just thought Manison was just a lazy git. But he's on night, so he's in bed, so that's his excuse. And he's listening to us too, and it's definitely helping him to get to sleep.
Brilliant.
Mind you, to be fair, Paul, don't drop off to sleep yet, because you won't be able to listen to us. You know, it's win-win. Mind you, he's happy as well, because the Villa won. That's the best since 1999, their start, when John Gregory was
After 2
the
games?
manager.
And
Villa have not won 2 games
Really?
back-to-back start of a season, whatever league they've been in, since 1999, and John Gregory and Paul is a top lad, top Villa fan, and one of my oldest mates.
All right, so that's 3 mates you got now.
Yeah. So anyhow, going back to TJ, what was it, TJ Fenner?
Tefner, yeah,
right.
yeah.
That wasn't him singing.
No, I'm
because
guessing
that
it wasn't,
really
no.
sounded like a bird singing,
yeah, it
and it was in fact Robin Cage.
All right.
Robin's a great name, isn't it?
'Cause
If
it
you
can
was
be a
doing
boy or a
blankety
girl,
blank,
couldn't it? Yeah.
if you was doing blankety blank now, and it was Robin blank, what would you go? Robin,
Hood,
Robin,
Banks,
Robin,
you.
Robin,
I can't think of.
bastard.
Yeah.
You would, yeah. The first Robin that I come in, Robin. Yeah, that would be me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if it was the other way, it was like blank Robin.
Yeah.
It would be,
You, Robin.
well, it'd be Batman, wouldn't
Oh,
it?
right, yeah, Batman,
Yeah. Milestone Road as well. Well, we're going to play. Oh, hey, Mo Salah.
No salad.
Mo Salah.
Oh,
Do you know he scored his first goal for Liverpool exactly 12 months before he scored his first goal in the Premier League this season?
Well,
He likes August. Harry don't though, does he?
doesn't
I mean, Harry Redknapp used to like August
Oh, yeah,
because the
yeah.
transfer
Oh,
window.
yeah, that's right.
But Harry Kane,
Car window.
yeah, but Harry Kane doesn't
Yeah, I've
like
got him,
August.
mate.
He's never
I've got
scored
him.
in August, has he?
Oh,
No. And also, Tottenham, they're not moving into the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the old White Hart Lane, because of safety regulations, I believe.
Right.
Probably ain't put the seats in properly.
Were
yet.
they supposed to?
They've got to
move in
screw them
those?
all down, ain't they?
Were they supposed to move in? Were they?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. They were going to move in for the Liverpool game,
Oh right.
but they're not. They're going to be playing that at Wembley.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
It's nice ground to have a backup isn't it?
I did see it the other day, and I thought, wow, it looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks
Yeah, I've
fantastic.
seen pictures of it. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But I thought, blimey, that ain't going to be ready for Liverpool. Yeah. Cost them £1 billion as well.
Oh,
No wonder they didn't spend any money in the transfer window.
what the hell?
Mind you, we didn't either, did we?
We got no money.
Craig Gardner's taking some stick. Or rather, his brother is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Craig's taking some stick for getting sent off.
Yeah.
But I looked at it first, my gut feelings, I thought, straight red.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah.
I wouldn't bother appealing that. And like Gary, he's a Villa fan. But that happens, don't it?
Does
If I
happen,
was
yeah.
a football player, people would know that I was a Blues fan, Mad
Yeah.
Blues. But you'd play for the Villa if they come and offered you a few quid
Yeah.
in a game of football, because he ain't going to get one at Aston Villa, is he? Not with,
No.
what's his name, McGinn?
McGuinness.
The new kid that they brought from Hibs.
Oh,
He's supposed
yeah.
to be some player, and they're going to play him in the middle of the park with arguably the best player outside the Premier League, Jack Grealish. Big fan of Jack. And I do take a lot of stick, being a Birmingham City fan, eulogising about Aston Villa's players. And Sharon Hudson's just joined us as well, by the way.
Oh, no,
I like the little emoji. Do you like emojis?
Yeah. I couldn't eat.
What's your
three.
favourite emoji? Have you got one of them pillar emojis, like, for your bed?
No. Hey? Oh, weird.
Yeah, the kids have them, don't they?
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
Oh, right.
some kids do.
No, I ain't got a clue.
Come on then, get Psychic Holiday on, and I'm
Yeah.
going to get Russ on the blower, and we're going to see what he's up to, because he's got a new novel coming out shortly.
Good stuff.
From when you were born to when you die, you were just a number no matter how hard you try. D.O.B. to R.I.P. Is that really me? From your liver zone to your telephone, inside your car or entry to a bar, is that really me? Numbers, don't judge me. Don't judge me. Numbers, don't judge me. I have more to offer than mediocrity. Numbers, don't judge me. Don't judge me. Numbers, don't judge me. Does it really tell you what you see? See a number next to a name. Does it really mean that we're all the same? Too young, too old, too warm, too cold. I'm not a sheep waiting to be told what is the price of gold. Numbers, don't judge me. Don't judge me. Numbers, don't judge me. I have more to offer than mediocrity. Numbers, don't judge me. Don't judge me. Numbers, don't judge me. Does it really tell you what you see?
Oh, right.
That is Numbers by the magnificent Psychic Holiday, and joining us now on the line should be, and I say should be because if Chris has done his job properly, it will be Russell C. Brennan.
Hi, I'm tempted to leave a big silence and embarrassment. But I'm here.
How are you, mate? You okay?
Yeah, I'm cool.
And we discovered last time that the C is for creativity.
That's right.
And you are one of the most creative, interesting, innovating, pioneering persons that I've ever had the pleasure to chat with.
Oh, that's nice. Nice, yeah.
And also, gotta say, just before we start on your latest projects, the last living male geisha.
Yeah, well, the last male geisha standing is the way I put it.
Okay.
So, I suppose you want to know how that came about, do you?
I think it's a great story, so I think we will just start there. It's a little bit of a kind of lineage to the wonderful, the unique.
Mr. Jones.
Exactly. So, yeah, let that story begin.
Basically, I mean, that's provisionally the title of my autobiography. But how it came about is, as you might have known, because I mentioned it before on your show, that I was friends with David Bowie. We used to share the same management in America. And when I met him, we got talking about like, a whole load of stuff. And one of the things we were talking about, we both like Japanese things. And the word geisha actually means total artist, and I was always calling myself a multi-platform artist, and he was saying the same, that he does all the arts, and so we were joking around, and I said, because the word geisha means total artist, maybe we're both male geishas, and he laughed, and he said, yeah, we probably are, but there's no such thing as a male geisha. Although, come to think of it, he used to dress up in lots of Japanese kind of clothes in the Ziggy Stardust days, and he wore the white face and all the rest of it. So he had kind of done it. But he said that males in Japan didn't want to be geishas, because it had also a courtesan element to it. So, but he said, yeah, we're really secret geishas, and that's what we used to call ourselves, secret geishas. And of course, when he passed on, I thought, well, I'm the last male geisha standing, and that's where the phrase came from. And I did a little tribute to him in an article on LinkedIn about that. And so that's kind of where the phrase comes from, really.
And you done a nice little painting as well, didn't you? With the was there a star girl in it from my memory of our last conversation?
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, because you were talking about my art as well. Basically, I've been known as a photographer for many years, and I've now changed into photo art and do limited edition canvases and what have you. And I've got a really good French muse that I work with, and she's very creative. And the day he died, I happened to be doing a photo session with her, and she said, "Oh, he's just died." And I said, "Yeah." She said, "You're going to do a music tribute to him?" And I went, "No, that's too obvious. I've already covered 4 of his songs anyway." So I said, what I'll do, because a lot of people didn't know at the time he was a painter, I said, I want to do some artwork. And so I told her to pose a certain way, and then messed around with the photo and turned it into artwork, and it made her look like a star girl looking for her fingers, looking, and she was looking like she's in the sky. And I said, you're now the star girl, waiting to come and meet him and take him to another planet. That's the theme of the artwork. And she goes, "Oh, that's really cool." And I said, "So you're the star girl, wait for the star man, take him to a new planet so he can be creative all over again somewhere else." So then I posted it up the next day as a tribute to him, and loads of Bowie fans went mad for it. And now it's going to be in an exhibition, and it featured in a book that I had out, a limited edition book of my photography and lyrics. And so that was my way of tributing to him. But a really weird thing came up recently, which is kind of an exclusive because I haven't really told anyone this. I met this girl in Bristol, and she'd been trying to contact me for ages, and apparently she does artwork based from cigarette ash, and she's a clairvoyant as well. And she said, and what she does is she goes in a trance, and the cigarette ash falls on this plate, and it comes out looking like a face, mysteriously, and the faces, a lot of them were of David Bowie. And she said she keeps getting messages from him, and he keeps saying he wants to work through me and her to do art again. And I thought, very weird, but I'm very open-minded about that. So that's a new David Bowie thing.
Now, if it was anybody else, I'd say I don't believe that. But with you, David Bowie, and this person that you've just met that's doing that stuff with cigarette ash, I honestly would think that there's a lot of belief in it, and I'd go with it. Because I think if anybody could do stuff like that, it would be you and David Bowie, because you're probably two of the most creative people that we've had on this wonderful planet of ours.
Yeah, and of course there was an obvious name for her painting, Ashes to Ashes.
Yeah.
You know, so, and the fact that he used to be smoked like a chimney as well known, he's like a chain smoker, and he wanted to do more art and stuff. It just sort of seemed to make sense to me. But as I said, I've got an open mind. But I think of canvases with this kind of cigarette ash is going to be up and in Archie Art in the next couple of months, so people will be able to see it anyway. So anyway, that's another quick thing that's just come up recently.
And also, what are we now? We're in August. In February, we're going to be having Valentine's evening, Valentine's Day, Valentine's Night. I love the French muse with your depiction of a Valentine's poster, photograph, or whatever you may call it.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, because we always looking to try out new concepts, and I said, because it happened to be Valentine's Day when I was actually doing a photo shoot about something else, and then I got her a rose for Valentine's Day, and I said, why don't we add this to the photo shoot? And then I thought, because I do erotic shots, let's just stick it down your knickers, effectively. And it just looked really cool, and I just took the photo, and she was really inspired in it, strangely enough, because she's actually an established painter herself. You know, she does abstract art, and she has lots of exhibitions and stuff. And she said she was so inspired by that, she took the rose away and went to her studio that night, and she spray painted around it, and the actual shadow of it came out on the painting all in red, and she sold that painting like a couple of days later. Wow. So that's really weird.
Now, is it the same French muse that you're still using that you used before? Because she's a good-looking girl as well, isn't she?
That's right, the very same, yeah. I call her name's Mako now, which for those who don't know means apprentice geisha.
Okay. And also, when you say you do erotic things, your erotic art is, I think it's absolutely fantastic. Because you look at it and, okay, with erotic pictures and paintings, there's a little bit of, obviously, sexuality there. But you do it in such a fantastic way that it is true art.
That's right, it's true art, and it's more tasteful than some other, which people would call erotic and stuff like that.
And that's what I wanted to get across, that when you come out with the erotic, it really is fantastic. And you could hang those prints in any room, anywhere, on any wall. They're fantastic, mate. I'm a big fan of your art. I'm a big fan of your music. I love all the music that you're doing and the music that you've done, and also your books you produce. That there is nothing in a creative sense that you don't do.
Yep, I mean the only thing I don't do is painting, but she's trying to teach me how to paint now, so that might be all ticked off. The box is all ticked off then.
But you know something, with you, Ross, you could just pick up a paintbrush and just paint something, and you do it in your own unique style, and you get away with it, because you could get away with anything, because you're almost a genius, mate.
Almost.
Yeah, I did try one painting recently because I had an idea that was off the wall, and I said, what I want to do is paint using two paintbrushes with different colours and treat them like drumsticks, and paint the painting in the rhythm to a music track, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And then use one as a cello bow as well. And when the cello played, I'd stripe the painting, and when the other paintbrushing man was doing the beats on the beat, doing the drum beat on the painting. So that was a new thing.
How did it come out?
Well, I kept running out of paint, so it didn't come out as good. It didn't come out as good as I was expecting. But she said it was a good first effort, you know. So I might try that at a future date. But the painting's at the back of the queue at the moment.
And your art exhibition, that must be at the front of the queue, isn't it, at the moment?
Well, as you've probably seen on Facebook, I've been shortlisting lots of artwork for an exhibition I've got coming out in Washington in America next month, and and people already buying my canvases are already becoming collectible. As you know, a lot of stuff I've done in the past, like records, have become collectible. Even to my surprise, my first ever book now sells for like 75, 80 quid a time. Music Business Bastards, the first edition of it. So people know I'm collectible, but I'm assuming they're just buying it because they love the art. But because it's collectible, it sells for like many hundreds of pounds, and in the gallery it's going to go like £5,000 a piece. But of course, by the time the gallery takes their bit and the agent does, I'm not going to end up with that much. But at the end of the day, the agent says your name's getting out there and people are getting into your art now anyway, because I've developed a new thing called alien art as well, and people like that. So I'm kind of making my way in that world as an artist, but the fact that people are buying it and shelling out for it, that's always been my main criteria. You can get as many reviews as you like, people saying things are great or things are rubbish. The people that matter from my mod days were the people who went out and bought the records and put their hand in their pocket to spend their hard-earned money, and that's the only critique you need, really. If it does something for people and it makes them happy or affects them in some way, that's what you do as an artist.
Did you say alien art?
Yeah.
I can't let you go with it, like not explaining what that is.
Well, it's got two elements to it. Basically, I turn people into aliens sometimes when I'm taking their photo, and then I mess around with it and make them alien looking. And another one is, I once used to throw some photos away when I used to do like a crap photo, but then I sort of took it out of the bin and thought, actually, let me mess around with this, and then I'd turn it into an alien landscape that's never been seen before. And so I've created a new thing called alien art because of that, and I've created new landscapes and planets that's never been seen before, and it's kind of a new world that people can visit, and there's an erotic element to it for certain reasons, which I won't go into, but anyway.
But there is a kind of erotic theme that runs through a lot of your creative juices, isn't there? Even with your novels, it's about an erotic type of theme.
Yeah, people say, if I bled, I'd bleed erotic blood, and that's pretty sums me up, I suppose.
Now, let's go on to your books. You've got a new novel coming out. You've also got a quiz book out. So, again, totally different things. You're not frightened to go and do anything, are you?
No, I mean, like I say, just like David Bowie and stuff, we both had the same attitude. Why? He used to say to me, don't be frightened, because everyone tries to pigeonhole you. Don't be frightened to just stick to one thing. He says, you're already doing lots of different things, but people will run you down, say, jack of all trades, master of none, and all this crap. And he said, you're good at all of it, he's good at all of it, just carry on doing it. So it's the same in book genres. Some people just stick to the same book genre, whereas I've had a horror book out recently. I've had a erotic time travel thriller, Kidnapping Time, which is one of my best books, and then I had Adventures of the Dark Duke that we spoke about the last time, which is an erotic kind of book. But because I'm also, my first book was Music Business Bastards, about helping people in the music business. That was kind of a non-fiction book. And because I was a DJ and a record producer, and I've been a record collector since I've been like 4 years old, and I'm just like, I absorb trivia like a sponge, and got a lot of knowledge to do in the music business. So someone said, well, you're always doing, like, you've got so much knowledge, why don't you do a quiz book or something? So I thought, yeah, I could do it, because I like pop quizzes. So I quickly, before Christmas was coming up, and I thought, I need to buy some presents, let me just write a quick quiz book. So I wrote it in like about a month, and then got it out, and it went top 70 in the Amazon bestseller list.
What's your favourite piece of music trivia?
Well, there's a couple of bits of pop trivia that I've got that I mention sometimes, which I find fascinating. Like, for instance, where some people are familiar with Manfred Mann, for instance. They're a big band in the 60s. And they had loads of hits, number ones, but they never wrote any of their music. Yet all the band members wrote hits for other people. Like Mike Darbo wrote Handbags and Glad Rags for Rod Stewart and various other people that it was a hit for. Mike Hugg wrote Mr. You're a Better Man Than I for the Yardbirds, and I think Paul Jones wrote some songs, and all the different band members all wrote hit records for other people, but they never wrote no records for the actual band. You used to get other people to write songs for Man, which I found was really bizarre, And another thing is, I said to people, do people know that actor Clint Eastwood, the legendary Clint Eastwood, had a #1 record in the UK? People go, they don't remember that, but he actually did, because it was a double A side with Wandering Star, and he did I Talk to the Trees from Painted Wagon. So that's an interesting 2 bits of pop trivia there.
I didn't know that, but I do remember from Paint Your Wagon, I was born under a Wandering Star. I think that came out in 1969, didn't it?
Yeah, 69, 70, I think it was 70s. But it was kind of, like I said, it was just, people forget, it was. I remember it was on Top of the Pops, and the Wandering Star was the one that got played a lot, but they flipped it because it was a double A side, and they played the Clint Eastwood one. They showed a bit of film of him doing it. And so his was effectively a double A side, so he was #1. But of course, people don't associate with him being a hit record, you know.
Brilliant actor. And
yeah, no, he's one of my favourites, you know, of all time.
And a #1 selling artist as well.
Who's that?
I said, and a #1 selling artist as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so that's 2 interesting bits about. But I mean, that's the thing that's interesting about this pop quiz. It's not just like loads and loads of questions and answers, and it's also got a mod slant to it because I'm a mod, and so it's got mod questions in music questions that people won't necessarily kind of see in most quiz books. But what I wanted to make it more fun about was when I put the answers, is put more trivia in there about the reason behind the answer or whatever it was, so that people can go and impress their mates and say, oh, did you know about so-and-so, like some of the things I just told you? And people like that sort of trivial thing. I mean, I've always liked it, and people into music like pop trivia, so it gives that extra element rather than just questions and answers, and that's all there is, you know.
Now, where can people purchase your all your books, all your art? Have you got one definite website where people can go if they Google search Russell C Brennan? Everything's in one place, or is it all over the place if they go to?
Well, there is, but it's a complicated website address. It's like department-f.co.uk/ and then rcb.html. That's where you can get like a handle on everything. But the 2 main places to get stuff is, well, the 3 main places is, you can get all my artwork I'm signed up to Saatchi Art, so Saatchi's got my stuff on their website, so you just type my name at Saatchi Art and you'll find all my artwork on there. And obviously all my records are available at Future Legend Records, but the easiest way to get the books probably is at Amazon. They're all at Amazon.
You just wouldn't do an abc.com, would you ever?
An abc.com?
Well, everything that you do has to have some kind of quirk, some kind of different doors and windows, and you jump through one, you go to another, and that's the essence of you. You are so creative. When people want to get into you and get your stuff, they know how to connect with you and to buy it. You're never ever going to be mainstream, and you never were born to be mainstream. You were born to be a cult hero.
Yeah, it's more fun being on the cutting edge and underground, and occasionally it goes a little bit mainstream, and I'll get, like, if you type my Russell C Brennan, and you'll put the C in on Google, you'll find like 50, 60, 70 pages come up, but at the end of the day, it's kind of, a lot of people who were mainstream hit acts, they'd have the hit and they'd be big for a couple of months and disappear, and then you'd see their records in the bargain bin for 10p. Yes, my career's lasted 30 years and my stuff sells still every day, but it's the people who really want it, and they pay full price, and in the collector's market they pay more, so it kind of, the music means more to them when you're a cult artist, I suppose.
100% agree. And your latest book, when's it out? What's it about? Let's talk about that. And also Eleanor Rigby.
Right, well, the latest book's called Over and Over, and it's actually, I wrote it as a film originally, because how it came about was I'd written another film called Kidnapping Time, which is my last book, which is an erotic time travel thriller featuring Marilyn Monroe and Frank Sinatra and Cleopatra and various other people, and that's definitely one to check out. But Miramax wanted to buy the film script off me, but I insisted on directing it, and they wouldn't let me do that, so I said they couldn't have it, even though they offered me like a 6-figure sum for it. So they said, go away and write a low-budget film, show us what you can do. Write about something you know. So I wrote one about the music business, which is it's a film noir, so it's about the dark side of the music industry, called Over and Over, and it's about a singer-songwriter, female singer-songwriter, gets used and abused by men in the industry, and she takes revenge. And so now that's very current because of the Harvey Weinstein thing, but I wrote it like 10 years ago. But I kept thinking, well, I'll get a book out of it originally, but it's as a film, and I should be making a film of it early next year. So at the end of the day, I thought, right, it's time to get the book out, and it's a really, like I said, a film noir about the dark side of the music industry. So anyone into music or musicians or even revenge stories, which like Kill Bill or whatever, you know, they'd like this sort of story. It was supposed to be out on September the 3rd, but somehow Amazon cocked something up and it's actually out today.
Well, win-win.
So people can actually get the paperback today, but they can't get the Kindle till the 3rd of September for some reason. It was supposed to come out at the same time. Some button got pressed, and I just noticed they told me today, oh, your paperback's released today. And I thought, no, it's not. It's released on. I looked, it's up there today. So yeah. So that's one to check out. That's the latest one, and also Kidnapping Time's another good one because I didn't get to mention that one last time I spoke to you because it wasn't out at the time.
And
so that's the latest one.
One that we did was we did chat about last time, and we are going to have a brief chat about now. Eleanor Rigby.
Well, Eleanor Rigby. Sorry?
Back to the mod.
Yeah, so, well, the thing is, with Eleanor, there might be some good news, because at the moment, what everyone's after from me is my autobiography, so I'm thinking, because as you know, I've lived a bit of a colourful life. In fact, I think you said it, you should put an autobiography out. Everyone's always saying that, you know, because I've been cutting edge, and I've been an adventurer and all the rest of it, so I thought, right, okay. But what people wanted me to do was put out, do a kiss and tell thing about Eleanor, and I didn't want to do that, so I said no. And an actual autobiography documentary came out about 3 or 4 years ago, a 3-hour documentary, limited edition. It sold out in 2 weeks, and so people got all the basics about Eleanor Rigby, the controversial single with the band Condom and all that, and her disappearing at the height of her career, and the fact that she was asked to be a female James Bond by Cubby Broccoli, and she was managed by John Weller, and all these different facts that came out. That one I forgot about, strangely enough, someone reminded me of recently, was she influenced Kate Moss really a lot, because this is a bit of an exclusive. Kate Moss used to live across the road from us, and when she was a schoolgirl, and she used to be at the bus stop, and she always used to come up to Eleanor, while the other schoolgirls was asking for autographs, Kate would come up and go, oh, can you give me tips on makeup? And she was only like 13 or something at the time. She wasn't famous or anything. We just remembered the girl. And then when she came out, the thing called Riddlesdown School was opposite, like not far from where we lived, and so that's why we used to see all these girls at the bus stop. And so when Kate Moss came out, I noticed, she said, oh, I live near Croydon, and we used to go to Riddlesdown School. I thought, oh, I recognise her. That's that girl who used to ask about makeup. So that's another influence that Eleanor had. And
you did mention John Weller, Paul's dad.
Yeah.
I didn't know that John managed Eleanor.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was from day one. I was managing her, but I was a reluctant manager because, as you know, I wrote and produced all her songs, and I used to do the fanzine and all the rest of it. But the thing was, I kept saying to her, the management's one too many things. I'd rather not do it. But she said she didn't trust anybody else. So I said, all right. And then we had a whole list of managers who came in. We had Larry Page, who used to manage the Kinks, and Sonny and Cher. He wanted to manage her, but she didn't. He wanted her to sack her backing band at the time. She was getting on with them, and so basically she turned him down. Then Bruce Springsteen's manager came in and wanted to manage her, so he said he wanted to go and do a 9-month American tour and leave me behind. And she said, well, I've never been apart from Russell since the day we got married, so there's no way I'm leaving him behind. Either he comes or I don't do the tour. And he was trying to break us up and have a lot of control over. So we turned down Bruce Springsteen's manager. And then one time I met Paul Weller somewhere, and I was talking to him, and he really liked Eleanor's records, and he introduced us to his dad, and we went down Solid Bond Studios in Marble Arch and met his dad and stuff. And he said, oh, Eleanor's really cool, I love her music. And he said, and I said, well, I want to get out of the management. Do you fancy managing? And he said, yeah, all right then. So, and we were actually booked on the Style Council Wembley gigs. We were going to support the Style Council at the time. And then at the last minute, he ended up getting all political, Paul Weller, and he put Black Britain on the tour and dumped Eleanor off it. And we weren't very happy. So we was having a word with John about it. And he said, yeah, he said, unfortunately, obviously my priority's like Style Council. He goes, and also Paul was going out with DC Lee at the time, and he said he needs to manage DC Lee now as well and get a record deal for her. And he said, so Eleanor was kind of third on the list. And because she was hot at the time, Eleanor, and things were happening, we didn't want things to go quiet. And John said, well, we might need to leave it like 6 months before we can do anything. And we thought, no, we want things to keep going. So he said, well, okay, you can do your own thing. So we decided, he did a few favours for us. He got some airplay, and he got a plugger on the case. And he was a really nice guy, really like down-to-earth guy. John Weller really liked him. He was like a salt-of-the-earth type person. And so he helped us out for a little while, but then, you know, his priorities was the Style Council and DC Lee, and so we decided to go off and do something else. And we got another manager called Dick Crippen involved, who used to be with 10-Pole Tudor, and he took over for a while. So that's how it comes with John Weller for, I don't know, about 6 months or something.
Fantastic. What wonderful stories. I'm just sitting here open mouth, mate. So what's next for Russell C. Brennan?
Well, the next thing is, obviously, I've got the Over and Over book out, and then I'm going to be making the film of that. Then there's going to be the exhibition towards the end of next month in America with my artwork. And then there's, what else is going on? Oh, yeah, Psychic Holiday went top 20 in the indie charts in America recently with a couple of tracks, and a lot of people are getting into my band now as well, so that's sort of taking off, which is good news. And one of the favourite tracks that I wrote is the one you just played at the beginning, Numbers, because it kind of hits the nail on the head about certain types of prejudice. And so I'm always juggling things. I'm trying to juggle films, artwork, books, and music at the same time. And so that's what's kind of coming up at the moment. And a lot of my things are getting popular in China now as well. So looking like I'm going to have to start going abroad quite a bit as well. So those are the things that's cropping up. And of course, as I say, everybody's now asking about my biography. So although I've written the biography, I need to fine-tune it a bit more. And there's like loads of outrageous stories in there, as you can imagine. No doubt when it comes out, you'll be one of the first to talk to me about it.
Russ, can I thank you for your time, sir? It's been an absolute blast. I love talking to you. I could just sit there all day and listen to you. As I said before, I think you're one of the most creative persons that I've ever spoken to. I think you're a genius, and we're going to be catching up with you in a couple of months' time and checking on your progress.
Yeah, that'd be good. I just want to mention one more thing just about the biography, and because Eleanor, it ties in. As I said, I was reluctant to do a book just about Eleanor for various reasons. But obviously, as my autobiography, part of my histories with her, it's going to get a bit more in-depth about me and her together that wasn't in the documentary. So Eleanor Rigby fans probably all want to get the biography from that point of view, because that's the only way to be able to read the behind-the-scenes things a bit more. So that's a good news for Eleanor Rigby fans who read it, because there's nothing new coming out. So that'll be something a bit new, I suppose.
Thanks, mate. And needless to say, Psychic Holiday and the Ministry of Ska and Eleanor Rigby are all on playlisted on SRB Radio, and we'll back you and support you 100%, pal.
Thanks a lot for all your support, and it's always great to talk to you as well.
Top man. Thanks, Russ.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Right, bye.
Cheers, pal. Bye-bye now.
Wide awake in this sleepy town, I see people lost, but my soul never leaves me now. My old friend said to be the best version of myself. If I'm less self-critical, for certain it could help. Well, I grew up in a poor but loving family. The rich and money hungry, they will never understand me. Lost my father at an early age, but his love remains. Unlike many fathers still alive today. I don't need a mirror to show me who I am. I know just who I am. Now let me show you. Back up from the bottom, I still got a long way to go. Living in hope for tomorrow, walking a long, lonely road. I'm still the underdog. I'm still the underdog. Why I feel like I never fit in. Some people are alive but they're barely living. Like They're trapped to a time, not in any prison. Love is one big ride that they've never ridden. That's the son of a gun, I'm the son of a king. If I make it through the winter, can you picture what the summer will bring? I'm the former champion, coming out from under the ring. It's a wonderful thing that I don't need a mirror to show me who I am. I know just who I am. Now let me show you. I came back up from the bottom, but I know that I still got a long way to go. And I never look back 'cause I'm just living in hope for tomorrow. Even though I'm walking along lonely road, some people still forget that I'm still the underdog. Some people still forget that I'm still the underdog. Some people still forget that. It could be a battle, so be ready for war. Fighting demons for your freedom, beating many before. But you gotta get up, you can barely afford to be wasting your potential. There's no scarier thought. A gift from God, the underdog with no collar. A great day.
Catch the water on the field, 'cause we need to heal. Yeah, we need to heal. Break the chains, burn it down, what they told you. This is here, this is now. Show me how you feel. If this earth is real, I got you right now. I got you like I'll take you there. Every now move is blown, and so much more. Nobody get left behind, 'cause you and me, we shall be flying. Still rise high, but we can drop it low. Go sweat up, we're gonna get some more. Come and get some more. Go sweat up. Come and get some more. You know we'll be right there. You got me like you know you take me there. Sing it all through your heart, sons and daughters. Streets, won't you bleed with me? Oh, can't you see? Breaking chains, burning down what they told you. This is here, this is now. Show me how you feel. If this earth is real, we're gonna sing it like got you like I'll take you there. You got me like sing it all through your heart, sons and daughters. Sing it all through your heart, sons and daughters. Like na 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 na.
Yeah, Les. With the Z, isn't it? Like Les, but with a K, kicking K, and the Z at the end. Les, like it. Bit soul-y, bit bluesy, bit anthemic.
Anthemic. Oh, we love that.
You know,
that's our word of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, anthemic. We both love anthemic. Yeah. You know, and curmudgeon. I like curmudgeon as well.
Kerfuffle.
Yeah, kerfuffle. Kerfuffle's probably my favourite word of all time. You know, and I'm loving the new Biscuit Boys show. Couple of interviews.
The new.
The new.
Mark 73.
Well, I mean, we've packed it in that many times, haven't we, to be fair? I mean, every day, should we pack it in? No, well, let's keep going. Well, I want to pack it. No one's listening. And I've reached the point that, I've never really bothered about that, because I love this Biscuit Boys show. Two old geezers sitting in the garage, having a laugh, you know, playing music that's sent in to you guys through the email tracks@sports-radio.co.uk. I have no idea what's going to be played. I love the diverseness. Is diverseness a word, by the way?
It's a great word.
Yeah.
I ain't got a clue what that means.
No, well, it's like diverse, but with ness, because, you know, the diverse, you need ness, don't you?
Yeah.
Diverseness of the tracks. The diverse of the tracks, it don't sit in a sentence properly, does it?
And the interviews as well.
Yeah.
And Mikey Freedom, which doesn't come up, it hasn't come up on that one.
Yeah.
Mikey Freedom said that was an very interesting interview.
Thank you, Mikey. Mikey's an absolute ledge as well. Big Bristol City fan. They've sold a few players as well, haven't they?
Big club.
Ah, well, Bristol's a great big city, isn't it?
Club, yeah.
So is this what's happening? Things aren't coming up on here now?
Things aren't showing on that one
Yeah.
for some reason. So,
It's Facebook for you. Yeah, what's your Tuesday thought, by the way?
Tuesday thought?
Yeah.
Is that a new feature?
It'll wait. No, it just trends on a Tuesday. I'm not too sure on Twitter whether it trends, you know, Wednesdays and other days, but it definitely does on a Tuesday. Probably because the Biscuit Boy show's on.
Maybe every Tuesday I should have like a sentence of wisdom. You know, like
Yeah.
you know, I'll think of one for next week because I ain't that clever to do it straight off.
Or I'll tell you what to do. Listen to Radio 4.
Yeah.
You know, when they have like thought of the day and stuff
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
it. Yeah.
Just
I should do that,
nick a
shouldn't I?
sentence from somebody highly intelligent,
Yeah.
you know, and then
It's
just
not. We don't know anybody.
no on Radio
on
4,
radio,
Radio
yeah,
4.
yeah.
So nick it and just say that you said it, which you did.
Yeah.
Really,
That's
just
right, yeah.
forget to say that somebody originally said it.
Yeah.
Which, what are you now? 55.
Pardon?
Exactly.
55.
You're starting to forget things, aren't
Yeah.
you? You're not as. You don't remember as many things as you
I
used
wish I
to.
was 55.
So you could get away with it. Alan Shearer's birthday as well yesterday, but don't ask me how old he was. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but he scored over 400 goals in his career that spanned almost 800 games. That's a tremendous return.
Crikey.
Yeah,
It's
Jermaine-
almost as many tap-ins as
Yeah.
Gary Lineker. Yeah.
And Jermaine Pennant's going into celebrity Big Brother. He's got
Is
a book
he?
out as well. I tried to get him a show on the Biscuit Boys, but SRB Radio. He liked me tweet the other day, but I never heard anything from
It's a
Jermaine.
start.
But he's going in celebrity Big Brother house, so we got no chance now. He'll be on Talk Sport, won't he?
Yeah.
And happy Lefty Day for yesterday as well.
Happy one.
Lefties,
Lefties.
all us lefties.
Oh, left-handers. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know Phil Collins was a left-handed drummer.
Is that?
I never knew you
I
had
didn't
anything
know that.
like a
I
left-handed
should know
drummer
that, really, should
until
I?
I used to go out and about, talk to them, and then
Yeah.
people would say, I hate it when you've got a drum and it's set up for a left-handed drummer
I
and you have to
had no
change it
idea
around.
that.
I didn't know that. I just thought you whacked it like with both
Yeah.
hands.
Yeah.
No.
It's a technical term, isn't it?
Unless they were
Back in.
pulling me plonker like, which, you know, they might do, because I know nothing about music.
No, you
Really,
don't know.
I know what I like, but in terms of like musicianship, I haven't got a Scooby Doo. And did you see that lady that moaned about Benidorm? Very disappointed she was. Too many Spanish.
The place.
The
or
place,
not the
Benidorm.
program.
No. Too many Spanish people there.
Now you think like you
Yeah.
know, with all the British people going, you think like they'd move all the Spanish people out.
And I'm sure that many Spanish people do, while the British
Well,
people
they do actually move all the vagrants out every season.
do. They really?
Yeah.
Where they send them to? Seville?
They've got a special place where they put them.
Really?
Yeah,
Like a
yeah,
special
I think
island?
I think it's called
Real.
Madrid. Yeah, real. Yeah, Smethwick.
Right, come on then. Let's get
Oh, okay.
Stone Foundation on.
Are we going to play Stone Foundation now?
Well, we're going to be talking to Sheasby.
Okay.
Do you need to play another record in the meantime?
I can play another one.
Right,
yeah.
play your record,
Okay.
and then
play some of it anyway.
yeah, okay, and then we'll sort it out.
Good stuff.
In a shattered world
all through again and again and again. Hearing only what you're told, feeling up just shot up story. Which moment are you living in? A time that you could call on again and again and again. So come on, please, help me to carry the news. Come on, please, help me to carry the news. Come on, please, help me to carry the news. Come on, please, help me to carry the news. Seeking out the truth from facts, dividing up existing borders, wondering how long it'll last until we hear side of the story and give you just another chance. Say you've always existed, no matter how hard you try. History repeated again and again and again. So come on, please, help me to carry the news. Come on, please, help me to carry the news. Come on, please, help me to carry the news. Come on, please, help me to carry the news. Won't you please carry the news? Won't you please carry the news? Won't you please carry the news? Won't you please carry the Carry the news, 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 help me to carry the news, carry the news.
Carry the News by my favourite band on the planet, Stone Foundation. And joining us now on the line, I have my favourite bass player in the world, Neil Sheasby.
Hello, Gabby. How you doing, mate? Very nice of you to say so. Thank you.
Well, I take a bit of stick because people go, he says that about everybody.
Do you? Oh dear.
But Neil, I don't. I say it about Paul Weller because, as you know, Paul Weller to me is God. But you are my favourite current band on the planet. And people say, well, Paul Weller, how about that? And no, Paul is a solo artist with a band. Stone Foundation are a band. That's the difference. And you have made more records that I love than any other band ever.
Thank you. You have been very supportive, mate, over the years, and we thank you for that. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And that's apart from the Style Council and the Jam.
Yeah, okay.
But
brilliant.
The latest record that's come off your new wonderful album that we're going to talk about in a short time is Carry the News. We've just played it, and it's almost Style Council reforming with Stone Foundation, so it's a win-win, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we got initially, we asked Steve to play on it because we had this little Latin kind of feel at the end, which we thought would be more, well, it was actually our drummer's suggestion that we spoke to Whitey about recording that version. So we did, and then we asked him about maybe bringing Mick, and so them two come down. It was actually on a separate day to when Paul done his vocals, so the three of them didn't actually sit in at the same time. But yeah, then Paul come down after he come back off tour, heard what we'd done, and he was excited by it, so he come and laid some backing vocals down as well. So we found ourselves in that bizarre situation where Paul, Steve and Mick are all featured on the song, which I think is the first time they've played together on a record since Broken Stones, which was on Stanley Road. So it's been a while. So it was nice. Yeah, it's lovely. You know, it's a lovely compliment for us that these people like them want to, you know, get involved and help us out. But it was a great day, actually. It was that went down really quickly. The bulk of that song went down in about 2 takes, so it was brilliant. Really, kind of what you hear is kind of what we did in the studio. If only musicians could pick playlists on national radio, because you would never be off the radio. Well, it's a minefield, that is. I mean, it's a tough one, that. I mean, it is frustrating, you know, there's no doubt about that, but because we think we have, you know, in the past we thought Beverly was a single, Limit of a Man seemed radio friendly to me, and on this album next time around seemed the obvious single, but, you know, we struggled in that respect. But then again, we have picked up, you know, in these shows, and like Craig's been really supportive, Craig Charles, Janice Long's been a long time supporter, so Robert Elms, Radio London, and of course yourselves, and have always championed our cause. So, you know, we do get pockets of play, but I know what you're saying. I mean, daytime radio 2 or whatever, or 6 Music's eluded us to now, but, you know, we just got to keep on in there. We've got to keep making the music, and I think everything else, there's not much we can do about that, really. That's pluggers' jobs, really. They put it out there and they have their discussions and they decide, you know, either way for whatever reasons they have. But, you know, we can't let ourselves get too frustrated by that, really. But I hear what you're saying. I think all you can do is play your music, and people can listen to it, people can love it, people can buy it, people can go and watch you on tour, and people can support you. And your fans, your core of fans, know that you are as good as any band that's ever performed since music was started. You know, I listen to lots of music, especially doing the Biscuit Boys and what I do on Facebook and Twitter, on social media. And I mean, there's a band at the moment, Eric Burton actually. He's called Black Pumas, and he's from Austin. Okay. And Black Moon Rising, I think it's an absolutely banging track, and I love it. And that's the great thing about the internet. You can find all these artists, but with all the different artists that I listen to, some of them I go, do you know what, I get why you don't get airplay on Radio 2 or 6 Music or whatever. You might get a little bit of airplay on genre specific programs that they have. However, with you guys, I just, for the life of me, I cannot understand why all radio stations do not playlist you. I can't understand that. I don't know. Well, I can't answer that question. No. I don't know. But, yeah, like you say, though, I mean, I think it's always been that way. I think music, it's always been in the, you know, some great, I think it's this year, 2018, has been an amazing year for new music. I think there's loads of things out there, but you have to scratch the surface and you have to dig about. And as you say, it's probably, easier than ever now because of the rise of the internet and what we can find. I mean, I've been obsessed with this thing on YouTube, Tiny Desk concerts that now in Washington. But via that, I've found lots of British music from artists that have been in there, like Tom Misch and people like that, that, you know, I probably wouldn't have known because they're not getting daytime plays either. But, you know, it's out there. It's all out there. And I think you've just got to keep your radar open. If you're into music, you know, you'll find it, you know, because we're fans, you know, we're looking for things like you've just mentioned with the Black Pumas thing. And, you know, I'm always looking for new music. I'm always hearing things. So, you know, it's out there. It's just, you know, it's just a shame it's not as prevalent as it was when we were growing up, Gabby, when it was 24/7 in your face. I mean, I think I find it a surprise as well. There's not much areas in the media on TV as well. We had, you know, even a reflection of what the chart is and the come you know, top songs in Top of the Pops. Then you add from that pop genre, you add then to the Whistle Test or the Tube or the White Room or whatever. You know, there's loads and loads of programs, and now that window of opportunity is really slim. So it's tough for bands like ourselves and many others, but. You know, as you said, our fans are great. You know, they're really supportive. They get the live thing, and there's plenty of people that follow us from all over the world, and they come to repeat numbers of gigs as well. So we must be doing something right, and the atmosphere is great, and we still love it. We just love creating music. We're music people first and foremost. We're not doing it to line our pockets or for our egos. We're doing it because we love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. You started off the foundation was set in stone or cast in stone, however you want to look at it, with you and Jonesy, probably about 25 years ago. 20
years ago, yeah, it was 97. So yeah, in the 21st year, yeah.
And it was pretty much you two guys writing the songs. I noticed, like last year with Street Rituals, you had another young fella, Mr. Weller, that got on board and started.
He did chip in, yeah, he did chip in, yes. Well, but basically that's how that collaboration started. I think. A friend of ours had been passing on the records to him, and we had no idea whether he was taking them in, listening, or whether they just went straight in the bin or cupboard. You know what I mean? But thankfully, he must have been listening, and we were on his radar. And when he got a bit of downtime just before, well, around the time he was making Calm Revolution, he'd had this little demo idea, and he got in touch with our friend and said, "Hey, would your mates the Stone Foundation be into listening to this and maybe seeing what they can do with it?" And when that became Limit of a Man, so that was the first thing we did, and me and Neil got our heads into it, and we added the melody and the lyrics and stuff, and made it our own little thing, and sent it back, and I think it knocked him out, and I think he probably might have been testing the water, and he loved it, and said, "Oh, this is too good for, you know, just doing a demo." He said, do you want to come down? You've got some more new songs and new ideas. Maybe we could spend a couple of days throwing the ideas about, and that's how Street Rituals began, and our relationship developed from then. So again, he's just like us, just as I said, he's you know, Paul really, he's just a music fan at heart. He just loves it. You know, it courses through his veins 24/7. So, you know, and he's so generous that, you know, an artist of that stature and standing that still gives up loads of time for bands such as ourselves, you know, and it's been fantastic. So, and then obviously on this album, we've done the same thing the next time around. He sent us a little piano demo and we developed that. So that's another co-write. So, you know, it's a real pleasure and a privilege, and we're just grateful that, you know, we seem to tick the boxes with Paul, and we've got, you know, he's become a friend bizarrely after probably what I started a band for back when I was 14, 13. We started off doing jam covers and a couple of our own we were writing. We were very influenced by all that, and then wind on 30 odd years, and, you know, he's texting me and calling me about our own music. So it's bizarre, but it's surreal, but, you know, lovely as well. Beautiful thing.
But ain't it great when you know, one of your heroes he's working with you, and, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, I never thought this would have unfolded or happened, especially at the age we are now and all these years down the line. But, you know, you've got to be thankful and take it for what it is, really. And obviously, you know, our next gig, he's invited us to play the NEC in a couple of weeks at the rearranged gig that the Stripes were doing when the snow come down. And obviously they have other commitments, and he gave us a call, and we find ourselves in another surreal situation where a week on Friday we play the NEC with Paul supporting. So it's just been brilliant. It's been a bit of a dream come true, really, to be honest.
And I've still got to send you that ticket, mate, because I was.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I was gutted.
You're on holiday, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm on holiday.
Yeah, okay.
But when you guys play, it's usually my wedding anniversary or I'm on holiday. I am going to come and see you in October, because you're starting your tour on the 25th of October. On the 26th, you're at Coventry. You're at the Empire, aren't you?
We planned that around you, mate.
Thanks.
That's what we did. Yeah.
You could have done it the other way around. Had the 23rd finish because Atherstone and Coventry and Tamworth and Birmingham, and that actually is my birthday, so it would have been nice to finish it. That's all right. We can't have it all, mate. No worries.
Yeah.
Everybody, anyone.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that title? Because it suggests
Everybody, anyone.
Yeah. It suggests everything about Stone
inclusive.
Foundation.
Yeah, that's what we felt. We felt like there was this idea the gigs were like a family affair. It's, it's really great. I mean, people interact with us a lot on social media, and we have some lovely messages of support, and you can feel the love for the music out there, and that's what kind of drives us forward. And the gigs on the last tour, Street Rituals tour, and the Live Rituals thing, really felt all-inclusive affairs. It felt like the audience were as part of, much a part of it as the band, really, and it all spurred us on. So that just dropped into my head, really. I felt it was an all-inclusive title, the Everybody Anyone, and it just seemed to fit where we are at the minute, really, and had a little snappy ring to it as well. So we went with it, yeah.
Would you say, I've listened to quite a few of the tracks on the album, would you say it's a more kind of like funkier Stone Foundation?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a harder, funkier album, definitely. Got that kind of soul boy vibe. I guess it's just music that we grew up with as well that influenced that. And I think it rubs off. And I think it was a conscious decision. We didn't want to obviously make Street Rituals Part 2, but we kept with the process of writing kind of continued. Me and Neil had a few ideas, and we definitely had a conversation where we thought, a couple of songs reared their head, and they were a bit more funky, and we thought, we like this. This sounds good. It sounds like the same band, but actually, a little bit more of a tougher kind of funkier approach. Like Standing on the Top was the first song that dropped that we put out on social media with the video, and the response to it was just fantastic, and that was influenced kind of by them 80s things, a bit like Kenny Burke Rising to the Top. That's what I had in my mind, though it sounds nothing like that, but it was that rolling bass line that's in there and the melodies, and it's a bit of a dancer, so it was a bit different for us, but not a massive departure. So I think we're really pleased with it. We think it's like the perfect follow-up, really, to Street Rituals. And I hope people can buy it and listen to it and make their own minds up about it, really.
And it comes out on the 24th. You can already
the day we play, 24th. That's right, 24th of August. You can pre-order now, and there's different formats. There's the white vinyl, which is nearly sold out now. There's a few of them left. Obviously, the double black vinyl. Deluxe CD, which you have a DVD with, normal CD, and we've even done a cassette. We've done a little limited run of cassettes just because they asked us if we wanted to, and I thought, why not? That's cool. Bit gimmicky, but kind of thought it was a cool thing to do. So there's loads of formats, and it's out on the 24th, mate.
And is there a little documentary that you're doing as well?
There's a little documentary of the making of the album on the DVD, but there is plans afoot, actually. I'm not sure how you know that one, but there's plans afoot that someone has approached us about doing the documentary, which will probably get released next year, but it's very much just being talked about at the minute, very in the early throes of, it's just an idea, I think, but it seems like it's going to get done because people, are interested in that backstory of how we did start and the struggle we had for a long while, really, and so it's an interesting story, but someone's looking to pick it up and make a little film. So we'll see how that one develops.
I mean, I've not got any privy information. I'm just doing what I would do if I was you, because I think your story is fantastic. It's a wonderful journey.
Yeah, but it's not been nothing to do with us, really. It's someone else who's approached us who know the story and said, this is a great story, and I think people should be made aware of the backstory. So we're just talking to a couple of film guys at the minute, and maybe it'll happen. I think so. It looks like it's all going to go into production, so we'll see.
And some of the guys that's performed on this new album, Dr. Robert, Catherine Williams, Hamish Stewart, Average White Band, how brilliant were they?
That's great. Brilliant.
Mick and Steve and Paul and probably one or two others. And this is what I love with you guys. On your last album, you had collaborations. You love to collaborate. You love to just, I'm guessing, sit there with an idea, jam on it, and something special comes out, especially when you're in the Black Barn.
We've always done that, really. The collaboration thing's been part of the last, right back to Find the Spirit, really. There's always been collaborators when Andy Fairweather was on that, Carleen Anderson, and then the Life Unlimited, we had Graham Parker, Dr. Robert, and Yeah, just it's not for the sake of it though. It's just like, you know, if a song like Season of Change, when Becky Levette was on that on Street Rituals, you know, we just thought this sounds like it should be sung by a female, and we thought it should be someone who's got that storytelling kind of voice. And Betty just, you know, all we do is approach these people, and we, you know, it's like amazing that they give up the time to do it. But again, it's the songs that speak. You know, if what we were sending them was, you know, it was rubbish or whatever, then they wouldn't agree to get involved. But thankfully for us, you know, the songs seem to speak for us, and people do agree to get involved. And again, it's a real compliment and testament to what we do, and we get buoyed by that. But yeah, I like it. I like the fact that, you know, because records I grew up with, like the Style Council, for instance, they always had guests coming in and different people playing on the record, and that was a mindset that went through to British soul, things like Soul to Soul or Massive Attack, you know, and I've really always dug that. So it's something that we wanted to incorporate in Stone Foundation, and thankfully, you know, people like Amish and Catherine and that on this new record again agreed to get involved. I think the results are, you know, amazing. Really, I think it's really good.
Phenomenal. I just think you keep getting better and better all the time with every next record. You know, I listened to your last one, I think, they ain't going to beat that, and then you do. They ain't going to beat that, and then you do. And you just keep it fresh, you keep it interesting, you keep it exciting. And I just think you just keep getting better and better.
Thank you. Yeah, we like to think so. I mean, we have that a bit of that as well. We think, oh, yeah, what are we going to do next? But then we don't sit around too much and think about it. We just do, because we don't feel any pressure as such. And I guess because there's two of us as well writing, it's like if one's a bit devoid one day of an idea or whatever, the other one's probably got something which sparks the other one's imagination. And we're always working and always thinking and listening and writing and just noting bits down. So, you know, we don't feel pressure, because if we recorded about 20 songs for this new album, and obviously there's 11 on the record, you know, so if things don't work, we just quickly cast them aside. We'll chase the idea for so long, and if it doesn't work, neither of us are too proud to say, no, that don't work for this record, or that's not really feeling that, and we move on. So yeah, we're lucky we can bounce off each other, and the band are great as well, because they share the vision as well. They really get it, you know. I mean, the horn arrangements on Carry the News, what you've just played, was, you know, just things we'd hummed into our phone, me and Neil, just nonsensical things, no notation. But we send them to Steve, the trumpet player, Steve Trigg, and he come back with this wonderful horn arrangement, you know. So they're sharing our vision and our ideas as well, really. So they're just a great bunch of lads to work with, and things in the studio come together really quickly. So we're thankful to have, you know, not just great musicians, but great people that we really connect with as well in the band. Now,
again, it's been produced at Black Barn, is my understanding.
Yeah, we recorded everything at Black Barn, that's right, yeah, we did. And me and Neil, this time Paul was away on tour, so he wasn't as involved. He come and played on a few things, but me and Neil worked on it production-wise with Charles Reese, who looks after Black Barn for Paul, the engineer down there, and he was magnificent as well to work with. So he's always sparking off with ideas as well. So, you know, it's a very creative environment. You know, you can't really fail there. It's a lovely sound, great live room, and it's a really creative environment down there. And so always sparking ideas. You know, we like working there. It just works for us. So, yeah, it's generous again of Paul to give that to us, you know. And, yeah, long may it continue.
And I'm sure it will, because I've never met I shook his hand once briefly backstage at Wolverhampton, but I'd love to sit down and have a chat with the geezer, because I think he's an absolute genius. And again, it's just one of them things, if you love music, you just get inspired and infused by it. And that's what I love about you guys. Another thing that you get enthused and inspired by is your Leeds United. We're all marching on together, mate.
I do, yeah. So, yeah, I'm kind of blindly optimistic. It always happens in August and September, you know. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to curse them. My wife just you know, she's kind of put a ban on me talking about it every time I get over enthusiastic, because, again, they've started off out the traps. I mean, we were good last year when we started, but it soon broke by Christmas. But this guy, you know, Bielsa that's come in, he's just, I don't know, the last two games, I've just wondered what I've been watching. It's just been ridiculous, so good. And I'm up there on Saturday, actually, with my kids. We're going up to the Rotherham game, so hopefully I don't curse them. But no, it's been a good start to the season, and it's just a massive sleeping giant, you know, and I just really hope, I mean, the fans deserve it as well, because the support up there is just great, home and away. And I think, you know, most people, even in the Premiership, they'd want the grounds filling, you know. It's not a Mickey Mouse club. It's a club that deserves to be back in the big time. I know I'm biased, but it's got a great history. But just hope they might be burnt out again by Christmas. But the start's just been fantastic. I've been loving your posts as well, actually, on social media, on Facebook and that, when you've been having these debates about the great 70s players and that's been really nice to hear some of them names mentioned and respected again. So yeah, great.
See, that's the thing that I've recently started doing a show with Alan Hudson. So we look back at Alan's career. Yeah,
great player from
Chelsea, Stoke, and Arsenal.
First game of football. My dad was a big Coventry City fan, actually, and he used to take me. Wanted to get me into football. He used to take me everywhere to watch Leeds or Coventry, his beloved Coventry. And the first game I remember going to, I think it was around 72, 73 season, maybe a year later, not sure. But that was Cov Stoke, and Alan Hudson just run the show. He was playing at Stoke, and I just, even as a little boy, I'd be about 6 or 7, and just, blew me away. Football then, I think, it's a bit like music, really. If you grow up at the right age, I feel blessed to have seen some of them players play. You mentioned you're doing something hopefully with Tony Curry, and Tony Curry to me was the best player I've seen pull on a Leeds shirt. He was just, he would be, he'd just stroll around the middle of the park, and then he just burst into life and just light the stadium up. It was, those players to me were just pure footballers. There weren't so much athletes as we get now, and the game was, I admittedly played at probably a slower pace, but still, they were just pure football, weren't it, really?
Yeah, and that's why I love it, because I love talking to Alan about the old days and the old stars and what went on, and I'm just like a kid in a sweet factory.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
and I like to keep the memories of the old players. Likes of Peter Knowles and John Charles and Duncan Edwards and these stars of yesterday. Because if we don't keep talking about those stars that are forgotten, and all that we remember is the Premier League players. Because that's what the Premier League want to do. Forget all records before 92. And of course, Leeds United was the last team that won the old First Division with Howard Wilkinson,
that's right.
wasn't it?
Howard, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was going up then. That was good times. And on the back of that, obviously, we had a little run with O'Leary in the European games. My oldest lad used to come with me to all them as well, so he remembers that. But the two youngest, they're still waiting. Why do we support Leeds? Why do we have to support Leeds, Stella? They're just, you wait. They'll be back. So, and they've been pretty cool. So we're going up against Saturday and onwards, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully they'll be back. Hopefully this could be our year. But you're right. I mean, it's like anything. You've got to give a nod to move forwards. You've got to give a nod to history, ain't you? And look back. It's such a great sport then as well, before commerciality took over and the sponsors and TV and all that. I just think it was the working man's distraction, weren't it? It was that every Saturday, but our household, it meant football. Saturday meant the family day at football. That was it. That's what our house was ruled by, and great days.
As the great Tony Waddington said to Alan, well, he'd say, watching Stoke City was like watching a working man's ballet. And that's how he got the title for his autobiography, from Tony Waddington.
Brilliant.
And then players they had an artistry, and like you've alluded to earlier, I'm going to be linking up with Tony Curry. No greater artist than Tony.
No, he was a great player, he really was. Underrated, I felt, as well, actually. He didn't get the nod for England that he should have done, really. He didn't want to get about 2 or 3 caps, I don't know, something like that, weren't it?
I think he got about 15, to be fair. He got more than most of the Mavericks, yeah.
Good,
more than most. But
see, Bowles was another one. Never really cut it for England, but what a great player he was, Stan Bowles at QPR. And it's just every team had one of them Mavericks. Every single club that come had somebody that could light up a stadium, and it was. I just feel, like I say, I feel privileged and blessed that I'm of a certain age to have been able to go to that as a kid. So them games are brilliant.
I'm absolutely privileged and blessed to be cutting a show with Al, because, again, when people say didn't quite cut it at that level, it was only because the management that we had at the time, Don, although he was magnificent at Leeds, didn't like the Mavericks.
No.
Ron Greenwood didn't particularly like the Mavericks, and certainly Alf didn't like the Mavericks.
Yeah.
And that was the problem, that the management of England didn't like our flair players, and I think because of that we lost a trick there.
Yeah, probably suffered. Yeah,
I think, and that's why we didn't qualify till 1982 in Spain for our next World Cup. But there we go. That's life.
Mm-hmm. That is.
But going back to Stone Foundation, can I wish you guys all the best, you Jones in your band of soul brothers, because as I've said at the beginning, as it was at the beginning, so shall it be at the end. Stone Foundation are the greatest band on the planet, mate.
Thank you very much. We always appreciate your support, mate. It's lovely words. Thank you. And thanks for your continued playing of the new tunes and all that as well. It's brilliant. Really appreciate it, mate. Thank you.
And keep wearing that hat. It's iconic.
Oh, yeah. Well, I only take it off for swimming and funerals, mate. There you go.
Top man, Shoes. All the best,
Cheers.
mate. I'll put that
See
tick
ya.
in the post for you. Cheers, pal.
Thanks, Gabby.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye now.
Bye, mate.
Granted, you just one more thing.
You told me you were leaving, 'cause I smoked too many cigarettes. I broke the bad habit, and I drove straight to your address. I saw you pressing your lips to someone new. My walk home was lonely, didn't know what to do. It's time to break my other bad habit, you. Stay close every day, don't tell me what to do. I drink too much and I tend to smoke a lot too. I'm high on love. Don't touch my soul with your dirty hands. It's a small town with small-minded people and plans. Life goes on, but that's the saddest part. He made hell feel like home and he's breaking my heart. Stay close every day, don't tell me what to do. I drink too much and I tend to smoke a lot too. I'm high on love. Document the world like you've never seen it before. Je te déteste et va te faire voir. I'm high sous l'amour. Stay close every day, don't tell me what to do. I drink too much and I tend to smoke a lot too. I'm high on love. Document the world like you've never seen it before. Je te déteste et va te faire voir. I'm high sous l'amour. The letters fall off the page, I can't help but see. One by one the voices come to take over me. If it's agony now, then it's hell later on. If I'm only dreaming, then why haven't they gone? The letters fall off the page, and I can't help but see. One by one the voices come to take over me. If it's agony now, then it's hell later
Cool.
on. If I'm only dreaming, then why haven't they gone? Stay close.
I wasn't listening to you. What's that? Who's that by?
Okay, so that was Georgia
As in
Fern.
Georgia, as in George. We're going to do a
Georgia.
profile here.
Georgia.
Georgia
Yeah, Fern.
Fern. Okay, we're going to do it because we do.
No, hang on. Georgia Theme. Oh my God. F-E-A-M.
F-E-A.
F-E-A-M. M for... Hold on.
F-E-A-M.
That's it.
M.
M. M for mother.
Just one M. Georgia theme.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
So am I going to do my...
You see, again, this is the thing.
So I can't do my profile?
No, because I put there Georgia theme.
Yeah.
F-E-A-M. Are you sure?
That's what it says, yeah.
And Georgia.
The song's called L'Amour. L'Amour.
Yeah, you see, this is the thing that I have with artists. That you put it up, you go into a search engine, you try and find them, and you can't. And you need to be able to do it, get everything to hand. So somebody listens to a show like ours, they play the records, judge your theme, have a look at that, bang, put it in set, and you can't find it, doesn't come up. Other people will go, I can't be bothered. I will have a look. What would you say she is? 20s, 30s? French?
I'd say 25.
Sounds kind of Frenchish to me.
Yeah,
Dark hair, blonde hair. Sultry looking.
Dark hair.
Sultry looking.
Dark hair.
Yeah. Kind of thin.
Yeah.
Very attractive. That's what we. That's what we think you're gonna look like.
Oh, hang on, I've got the detail. Oh no, I haven't got no details.
You see what I mean?
It just says George.
No, I know. I know, and this is the problem. So, guys, if you can send us your links as well, we can link up with you. All the records that we play, we put on rotation daily at SRB Radio. And thanks so much for sending in the tracks to sports-radio.co.uk. You make them, you send them, we'll play them. It ain't rocket science. And thanks also for listening, watching. Good night, and
Before we go,
God bless.
The song we played earlier, Milestone Road.
Yeah.
They're from Solihull.
Are they really?
Just thought I'd
Okay.
drop that one. I'm just trying to find out.
Well, I mean, again, local bands, if you want to, or bands from further afield for that matter, if you want to come in and join us one week on the Biscuit Boys show, feel free. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. I haven't got time to find out who this.
And also, you know, I might start doing the live lounge again. You know what I mean? Meet me up at Ryan's studio.
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon. Have a bit of a chat. Play a few records. Have a couple of drinks as well.
Yeah. Why not?
You know what I mean?
Else to do, okay?
Right then. Okay, that's it then. That's all, folks.
Good night.